Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick little rig rundown of how I am running my current pedal board setup, ampless, and also not using Kempers or an Iridium. So this is sort of a unique take on how to go ampless with things that you might already have. Anyways, yeah, so here we go. So start off using a Tele. This is my go-to guitar right now. I'm really enjoying it. But I'm going straight into this little patch bay that's underneath the Strymon Deco here. And that's just coming in, going straight into the Boss MS3 that does all of my looping, my MIDI, all my patch changes, and I have everything programmed per song on there. So yeah, so let's see here. This is just my clean tone with nothing on. So yeah, so that's just going straight through. All that's on are the preamp pedals that are acting like my amplifier there. So first loop is the Cocaine compressor by Okko pedals, made in Germany. So it's got an optical compressor as well as a 2-band EQ, but with the boost side, you can actually boost your mid. So it's almost like a 3-band EQ. Right now, I'm just cutting just a little bit of top end and pushing just a little bit of mids out of there. The squash setting, which is how much it's squeezing it, is all the way down, sustains a little bit past noon, and volume is just at unity. So it's compression's not something that I really want to hear too much. So all it's doing is giving me some extra sustain there. Versus. So as you can hear, it's not doing too much of the tone. I don't want it to, because it's not an always on pedal, I don't want it to do a ton of scooping or pushing of any of the EQ, so that when I do engage it, it's not really changing the sound all that much. Next in the loop, we go into the Broken Arrow, which is being controlled via MIDI from the Boss MS3. So I set it up. It's different for every single patch as far as what drive setting I'm using. Right now I'm using it on the magenta with, it looks like 50% of where the gain is set. And if I set the gain where it normally is, this is what that sounds like. But yeah, so that's the Broken Arrow. It sounds incredible. There's tons of great demos online if you want to sort of delve into all that it can do. Next, I'm going into the JHS Kilt. I love this pedal. It's been on my board for quite some time. And I'm utilizing the MS3 to actually take care of the red switch on there because it's the V2. So I'm using that to switch between the lighter gain and the higher gain. I typically keep the G1 switch in the down position. That gives me a lighter overdrive and a medium overdrive rather than the higher gain and the fuzz. But yeah, here's what that one sounds like. Sounds really good. Sometimes I'll stack the two. But yeah, so those are the drive pedals. Coming out of the Boss MS3, so you've got the three loops there, compression, Broken Arrow, Kilt. It's coming out and going straight into the octave pedal. This is actually just a Mooer Tender Octaver. It was the one that they caught the lawsuit with Electro Harmonics on because they just copied the POG. So I got this quite a while back, and it sounds just like a POG. I almost always just use the just a little bit of the upper octave, just to give it a little bit of shimmer when I'm playing lead parts, when I'm doing any arpeggiating. That is where that one comes in. Out of the Octaver, it goes straight into this Jackson Audio Prism, which I'm using on the amp setting with the medium gain pushed to about 1 o'clock. This is acting like the first stage of my amp section. A little bit of the tone is pulled back just to keep it from getting super shrill on the top end. But it's a great sounding pedal. This is serial number 49. I got it in their pre-launch phase. I ordered it and could not be more happy. It's been just a game changer to the overall sound that I'm able to create. It's so simple. It's just a boost pedal. It's always on for me though, so it's not actually acting like a boost. It is a true preamp pedal for me. Let's see if we can hear it without it. It is giving me quite a bit of gain, so the volume's probably going to drop, but not a super delightful electric guitar sound. But when you kick it in, yep, so that's what the Prism's doing for me. Coming out of the Prism, we're going straight into the Deco, which is where I'm splitting from mono into stereo. I am using the tape saturation side as another element of that amp sound. So what it's doing is it's giving me just a little bit of compression and just a little bit of tape saturation. Whereas without it, and then with it. And so that's really what's building that. The Prism and the Deco in tandem are building that amp sound that I'm creating. In addition to that, I also will often run, when I'm running stereo, I'll kick on the other side of the Deco there, the double tracker side, just to give me a lot of stereo width. So if you're listening on headphones, you'll actually hear the difference between the two. So that really is my desert island pedal, the Deco. I feel like it is what makes stereo guitar fun. The Timeline and the Bigsky do a great job of giving you some stereo imaging, but really the Deco takes it to the next level. If you have never played through one, I highly encourage you, go play through a Strymon Deco. It is the most slept on pedal, and by far my favorite. So yeah, so now we're in true stereo. And then from there, go into the Deco. I run my Timeline, or not my the Deco. Going into the Timeline, I run the Timeline a little bit differently than most people. So a lot of worship players I see will have specific patches per song, and I totally understand that. But if you utilize the full capabilities of the MS3, you can sort of get around that. So what I have is just 4 pages. So I've got a quarter note, short and long. I've got a dotted eighth, short and long, and that's also adjusting the mix a little bit between the two. Eighth note, short and long, and then a dual delay, which is just going to be a dotted eighth and a quarter stacked. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. The MS3 is also sending MIDI clock out. So per patch, it's sending out, like my testimony is 97 beats per minute. Switch over, and then the time's going to change as well as the patch. So those are all getting switched over. Then from the timeline going into the Big Sky, I do a very similar thing. So I've just got the 4 pages that I'll stick with. So first page is my haul settings. I've got a small, medium, and large. Same thing, plate on the second page. On the third page, we're going to the cloud, which is, you know, just that classic. Really pretty, really big, long decays. And then from there, I actually do a haul, a plate, and a cloud reverb that are full wet. What I like to do is sort of act as a transition piece and when I'm playing worship music. So a lot of times there's going to be playing multiple songs back to back, crashing out of one, going into another. And I like to sort of be a foundation of transition just by adding just a little bit of atmosphere. So the full wet mix on the Big Sky I utilize a lot, just to give me that very ethereal pad sound. Stack that with the Octaver and a little bit of drive, a little bit of chorus, and yeah, you're all set. So going back to the MS3 just a little bit, the when you really dive in, this thing is actually a really powerful unit. A lot of people don't love the idea of just having 3 loops, but with MIDI, you really don't need that many loops. So the way that I use it is I have 4 presets per song. So the way I have it laid out, like this one is champion verse, champion chorus, champion bridge, and then this is just a default, very ethereal patch that I keep on hand for transitions. But when you're using the MS3, you actually don't just have those 4 sounds or those 4 patches. So there's a function called current number. And so when you hit it again, you'll see my drive increased here. It actually ended up taking off the delay and modulation that I have built into the MS3, turning those off. And so I use that, the first sound for verse 1, second sound for verse 2. Same thing for the chorus. So in this song specifically, really clean, sort of cutting. And that's that first chorus sound. But when you go back to the chorus after the bridge on this song, I add in some chorus and I give it a little bit of a boost. So you're really able to get 8 different sounds. You can see here. So on the first bridge, I've got a little bit of vibrato, and then my compression and a lighter drive. And then when I kick it up, I'm taking the vibrato off and then just adding in the kilt for even more drive. So that's the difference. But yeah, using that current number function on the Boss MS3 is absolutely huge. There's a lot of great tutorials online. But that's sort of how I'm running my ampless rig. I hope that this sort of helps you if you're thinking about switching to an ampless setup. I did fail to mention the Big Sky. I'm running the cab sim built into the Big Sky, which is awesome. It sounds great. I hate that you can't change the impulse response on it. But for what I'm doing, it really does get the job done. So yeah, so that's my ampless rig. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment and let me know. Talk to you later.